What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new unboxing video. For today I have a brand new phone from Cubot called the Cubot P30. So this is a phone that you can find for just under $150 and I've actually seen this for about $120 about a week ago. And for that price we get a phone with a 6.3 inch screen that has a 1080p resolution, and that resolution is actually higher than the resolution on the iPhone 11. We also have 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, and all that is being powered by the MediaTek Helio P23. Not to mention that we have a 4000 mAh battery. So on paper this phone sounds quite good. Now, in order to make this video as useful as possible, I'm also going to run the benchmark tests on this device. So I'm going to show you the benchmark results, I'm going to show you some sample pictures, we'll try the fingerprint scanner, the speaker, etc. And with that being said, let's get this box open and check out the phone. Alright, so we get a very similar box to what we've seen in the past from other Cubot devices. On the front here we see the P30, and that kind of means that the phone looks like the Huawei P30. And on the back here we can see all the specifications, so basically everything that I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this opened. Very simple to use this box, no stickers or anything like that. First of all, we have the phone. We'll leave this aside for a quick second. Then we have a little booklet here, a thank you booklet. In here we get the user manual, which nobody will ever read. And aside from that, of course, we have the USB-C charging cable and a power adapter. And lastly, this SIM card tray removal tool. And that's about it for the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the box aside. And the phone also comes with a plastic case, which is a good thing because otherwise it would be impossible to find a case for it. So very simple case, nothing that special about it. On the front here we get a little sticker, which I'm gonna remove. And I think there seems to be a screen protector installed on this as well, which I'm gonna try to remove as well. I just cannot stand screen protectors. And on the back we have another sticker, which I'm also gonna remove. Alright, much better. So on the back there we have 3 cameras and a flash. We'll see if those cameras are actually real or not when I go outside to take some pictures. The back here seems to be made out of plastic, so yes, it does look like glass, but it feels like plastic. We have a fingerprint scanner right there, the Cubot logo, and I kind of like how the back looks. It doesn't look simple, it has those lines, so looks quite appealing. The frame here, I think the frame is actually made out of plastic as well. It does feel like metal, but it could be plastic. Alright, so here we have the power button and the volume keys, nothing at the top. On the left hand side we have the slot for the SIM card, and at the bottom we have the USB-C port and what looks to be like 2 speakers, but I highly believe that we have a speaker and a microphone. So that's about it for the phone. On the front, of course, we have the front-facing camera and the 6.3 inches screen with a 1080p resolution, as I mentioned earlier. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this up and I'll run a couple of tests on it, and then I'll come back so I can show you the UI, so I can show you the fingerprint scanner, the speaker, etc. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so after about 45 minutes or so, I am back, and since I'm not gonna have time to do a full review on this phone, I'm gonna try to cover everything I can in this video. So first of all, the screen. This is a 6.3 inches IPS screen that has really good viewing angles, as you can probably see. So no matter how you look at the phone, you're gonna be able to see the screen, but the screen won't get that bright. So if you're gonna take the phone outside in direct sunlight, it's gonna be a bit challenging seeing the screen. Now, what's interesting about this phone is the fact that it works in the US. So based on the bands available here, it should work in the US. Something that I wasn't expecting because a lot of Cubot devices don't actually work in the US. So I'm very happy to see that. So if you're planning to buy a phone like this, yes, this will also work in the US. So quite unexpected. I've also ran the Antutu benchmark and we get a score of just over 100,000. And I guess for that Helio P23 the score is okay, but don't expect some crazy performance from this phone. So not the fastest phone out there, and yes, I've noticed a bit of lag when moving in between screens and such. So for example, if I open Facebook, it takes a couple of seconds to open, but then there is a bit of lag when you're scrolling up and down. Of course, the app has to load the content, but it could be smoother. But for this processor, I don't think you can expect that much. I've also tested the fingerprint scanner. So if I lock the screen, it does unlock fairly quick. Takes a bit of time to get used to the positioning of the fingerprint scanner, because it's so flush to the body that you don't actually know that you're touching the fingerprint scanner. But yes, the fingerprint scanner does seem to work quite good. Now the camera. So on the back there we have three cameras. The main camera, that's the camera that take most pictures with. Then we have the second camera that's used for portrait mode pictures. So I took a couple of portrait mode pictures. Unfortunately, I had to take the pictures myself, so basically looking at the cameras. But the bokeh around the subject does seem better than other Cubot devices that I've seen in the past. And in the camera app here, so if you turn off the AI, so there is an AI mode in there. If you turn it off, you have access to the ultra-wide lens. So this is the ultra-wide lens right here. Now, unfortunately, the pictures taken in the ultra-wide lens look very distorted. So the ultra-wide lens on the back of this phone isn't that great. So if you're hoping to buy this phone for the ultra-wide lens, yeah, that will be a bit disappointing. However, the pictures taken with the main camera do look quite decent. Now, of course, since it's daylight out, I haven't had the chance to try the cameras in low light, so I'm not gonna have high expectations for the cameras in low light, because it's a cheap device and cheap devices don't usually do good in low light. But for daytime pictures, I think the cameras do good enough for the price of the phone. I also want to show you how the speakers sound. So even though it looks like we have two speakers at the bottom, we only have one speaker. And keep in mind that there is no 3.5mm audio jack. So I'm going to open the YouTube app. I have a song playing here, so I'll press play. So yeah, the speaker isn't anything fantastic. I mean, it sounds decent enough, but definitely not the best speaker out there. You're not gonna have a party with this speaker. The phone also supports face unlocking. So let me try to give you an example. So it does seem to work decent, but keep in mind that for face unlocking, the phone is just using the front-facing camera, and that means that if you're gonna be in a darker place or a darker environment, the face unlocking isn't gonna work that great. But at least we have that fingerprint scanner on the back of the device, so that's definitely a good thing. The phone comes right out of the box with Android 9, and I'm not sure if this will be updated to Android 10 anytime soon. But at least the launcher is very close to stock Android, and the phone doesn't really come pre-installed with any useless apps. So you only get Google apps basically on it, which is definitely a good thing, because you don't need all those Chinese apps that come pre-installed a bunch of Xiaomi phones. And even the launcher looks kind of similar to the launcher that we have on the Google Pixel. Definitely not my favorite launcher out there, but at least you don't get any heavy skins on top of the Android 9 here. So, like most Cubot devices, the phone will work okay, but it will be somewhat limited by that MediaTek Helio P23, because as I said earlier, that's not the fastest processor out there. And I also want to show you a quick gaming test with this device, just so you can have an idea how it does. I'm sure it's not going to be the best gaming experience out there, but at least you're still going to be able to play some games with it. So I have Call of Duty Mobile here. A bit of lag when running, but not too bad, I guess. Let's see if I manage to actually shoot anyone. Look at that. So definitely a bit of lag when playing this game here, but I wasn't expecting much considering that we have that MediaTek processor, which is kind of an entry-level processor, but still decent enough, I think, for the price of the phone. Look at that. Even with all the lag, I was still able to kill someone. So yeah, this is how the game, how the device should perform if you're actually playing a game like Call of Duty. So for the price of the phone, I think it does okay, but if you spend another 20-30 bucks on top of this, so if you're going around $200, then you have access to a lot of other devices that have much more powerful processors with more RAM, etc. So yes, this is a decent device that would also work in the US, but there are just so many other options out there if you spend just a bit more money. So difficult to recommend a phone like this one, there are so many other options. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.